I don't know about you, but sometimes I look at myself and I think, oh my goodness, there's just nothing in me that's good enough to even think about going into the presence of God. Who am I to think that I can have a relationship with a holy and perfect God? And I think that's a natural thing and a natural tendency because we know we're not worthy to go in. You ever heard God can't even look on sin? It's preached. It's because of a verse where it basically says that God doesn't look on sin. It's been used to say that when Jesus was on the cross, God turned his back on Jesus. God forsook Jesus. Because God can't look on sin and because Jesus said, my God, why have you forsaken me? But that's a misunderstanding and a very dangerous one. Have you ever eaten so much of something, even maybe something that you like, that you're a glutton and you've just overindulged? I have friends that would say you have tickified yourself. You've turned yourself into a tick. You're about to bust. And your response when offered more is, oh goodness, no, I couldn't eat another bite. I can't even look at it. I may be sick. That's more how God can't look on sin, except for the first little part is too much. It's just not enough. But God can actually observe, or he wouldn't be able to look at any of us. If God couldn't look on sin, he couldn't look at the world at all because this world is full of sin. It's just that he can't look on it with any desire or with any acceptance. Oh goodness, no. That can't be a part of me. That'll make me sick. It sickens me to think about consuming that. That's how God can't look on sin. But he accepts us. He loves us as we are, not as we should be. When Jesus said, my God, why have you forsaken me? It was a twofold thing. First off, he was feeling that way because for the first time, he felt the weight of sin, the guilt and the shame that goes with that. And that's a horrible thing to feel. He felt that for the very first time. And more than any of us ever have, because he felt all of your sin and all of my sin and all of everybody else's sin all at the same time. I've never even felt all of the weight of all of my sin all at once. When I've come close to it, I've wanted to die. And the other reason was because he was letting everybody who was there know. If I say, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. I don't have to say anymore. You know what I'm saying, right? Your mind immediately went to that saved a wretch like me. And when he said, my God, why have you forsaken me? He was starting the first lines of a song that ends with the victorious Messiah. Psalm 22, by the way. See, I think it's important to remember and realize this because if God forsook the Son because of the sin on him, what does that mean for me? If you'll reject the Son that wasn't adopted because of sin on his life, what does that mean for me? But Daddy never turned his back on the Son. The Son just kind of felt that way. Because sin will make you feel separated from God. But he never rejected the Son. And that's in Psalm 22 as well, if you read on down through the bottom. And he never rejects us. He loves you as you are, not as you should be, but he loves you enough that he won't leave you as you are. So he came while you were an enemy, while you were a sinner, while you had no hope or desire to be anything else, and died in your place. If he did that while you had no hope, why would he ever turn his back once you become his? Why would he ever let you go once he adopts you? He wouldn't. You're His. That's what the cross was for. That's what the cross was about. So that no matter how dark things get, no matter how painful things are, no matter the weight of your guilt or your shame, your sin, no matter what you've done, where you've been, what's been done to you. No matter if when you look at yourself, you say, I'm not worthy, and I feel like I am or should be forsaken by God. He has not forsaken you. He died for you. He sealed you with His Spirit. That was the point of the cross. He loves you so much, He died for you. He loves you so much, He moved inside and made your life His home. He loves you so much that He moved all of creation to build a cross, to bridge a gap, to destroy the evil that wants to destroy you, so that you can be His and He can be yours. And that's what that cross is about. Jesus who came so we wouldn't have to find our way to God, because we couldn't. He came looking for us. When we didn't qualify to ride the ride, He made the difference. And He bore the weight of our sin and our shame so that we don't have to anymore. And we can exchange our imperfection, our mistakes, and our rebellion for His perfection, His perfect submission, and His holiness. And that's worth remembering always